This is the talk of Music City real estate.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City real estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team. And welcome back. It's Sunday evening.
Good to see you, Carey Ann.
So good to see you.
Hey, let's remind everybody, please send those real estate and mortgage-related questions to questions@talkmusiccity.com or hashtag TalkMusicCity.
Yes, and this show is also a podcast, so you can listen at your leisure. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Music, and others. You can also watch us on YouTube or our favorite Facebook. Simply search The Talk of Music City.
Carey Ann, before we get started today's program, I got to say, I really, really enjoyed a couple sessions ago, a couple episodes ago when you shared your heart. I really appreciate that, you know?
Oh.
That's probably my favorite episode of the 43 or 44, whatever, where we're at. Jim, where are we at?
This is 45, I want to say.
45?
Wow, 45?
Yeah.
45 times. You've sat here with us for 45 times.
That's right.
45 times I sat with you.
That's pretty amazing.
Leading information.
We've talked. I love it. That's been great.
I'll tell you what, when we have new agents join us pretty regularly, and I sit in on the onboarding luncheon, and one of the things I talk about is the talk of Music City real estate. I said, I can't believe how much I've learned with my tenure in the industry on mortgages by just being here.
And me in real estate, yeah, I've learned so much.
I mean, it's incredible because we're forever learners. I think that's who we are, you know. But it's really cool to sit and learn so much just by the privilege of being here.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, since last week, I've learned and continue to learn how to improve my Thanksgiving dinner.
I heard you were going to do that. Did you really master through it, huh? How was it?
I mastered through it. So my sister is always hosts, and she is pregnant with my nephew-to-be. Really excited about that. And so I took on that responsibility. And so the house is still standing. No one got sick.
Good.
So this is a win-win.
And
I even made the cream onions for my mother that she loves so much. I will never eat, but hey.
So you've totally blown the myth that you don't cook.
Well, I think it's, like, example, I don't dance. I was for one purpose,
That's true.
right?
That's
so
true.
I don't cook. My daughter still gets what she calls his mom's slop and lots of ordering out during the year. But hey, I made it through, so. Hopefully everybody had an amazing and blessed Thanksgiving last week. And
hope so. We're
so much to be thankful for this year.
So much to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful.
And I'm grateful for this opportunity. I was laughing because, we're getting close. I don't know if people can't see, but I'm wearing shimmer because we're moving into the holidays. That's what you wear. Every day you should be just wearing a little shine.
So I need some shimmer?
Yes, you need some, it's, what do they say? Bright, be merry and bright. So I'm going to be bright the whole month of December.
And sparkles, they'd fall off, I guess. But the
That's
shimmer
glitter.
doesn't. The glitter.
Yes.
How is that different from any other month? You're
I know,
always bright.
but this is about to approach my most favorite season, and I can't wait. So actually,
let
it's
me
so
ask
funny.
the
So
question.
tomorrow, the lady comes to help me with my Christmas trees. And the reason why I have a lady who comes to help me with the Christmas trees is because I have a 15-foot Christmas tree in my house.
So how many
that
trees do you have? Let's be honest. Be honest now.
I do have 14 Christmas trees.
No, you're kidding, right?
Well, depending on each size, I have one in the bathroom, one in Aubrey's room.
Holy cow. You're serious? 14 Christmas trees?
Yeah, why not? Come on, more the merrier.
Jim, what do you think about that?
The one is challenging enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me give you a little secret. So for all the people out there, here's my little secret. And you have to have the space to do that. So I've pushed away some space in the walk-in attic to be able to do this. But you set your tree up, and then you take the saran wrap after the end, and you wrap the tree. If it's a small enough tree, you wrap. And then it's already ready to rock and roll the next year. And you just cut the wrap, and then you fluff. Done and done.
Pinkety bangety boom.
Yeah,
huh?
plug it in and hope to goodness I think at the time your toes are crossed, your fingers are crossed, and you might even cross your arms to hope that the lights work when you plug them in, because it's hard because the decorations are already on it. So you hope for that to be. But I'm excited for Christmas to come to life tomorrow. So it's going to be a fun day.
Well, that's exciting.
It is.
Connie and I wrestle with this every year because she wants to put up these multiple trees, and I say, how do that's such a waste of energy. You're just going to take it down in a short time,
It brings me so much joy. It's cheaper than therapy, I think.
Well, good luck.
So that's my thought process.
Our problem is we get the real tree.
Oh, do you really?
I love that. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a problem. My wife
Yeah.
doesn't think it's a problem. But,
Right.
you know, for years, every time we go into Home Depot and they start rolling out the Christmas trees, I'm like, hey, they look really real.
Yeah,
and they're so much easier.
Yeah.
So do you go and cut the tree?
Are you
or
like
you go to
Griswolds? You go out there with a station wagon and throw it on top and everything?
This year, I think we're going to.
Wow.
Or do you go to like the tree farms, you know, at the schools and stuff?
We'll go to Home Depot and get the one for $30.
Yeah.
You know.
See,
Yeah.
when I grew up in New Hampshire, I remember going to, they had tree farms. So literally they gave you the saw, you know, and a wagon to throw us in, and you would go out with your family.
You took a saw, like a hand saw or a
yeah,
chainsaw?
one of the, I don't know what they're called. They're like,
The big bend.
Bow
too.
saw.
yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
And you go out and you search with your family the perfect tree. And then you go to that tree and you go, oh, it's the tree. And then you cut it down together. Like that's the memory
You
I
don't
have.
feel bad about killing that poor tree?
It's the
what it's
tree
there for.
farm. It's called a tree farm.
It's serving its purpose.
Yeah.
It's
It
fulfilling
was
its
grown.
destiny.
It was grown to do that.
Oh.
So then you would lug it back. You would wrap it, and then you would throw it. And we did have the station wagon. So yes, we were the Griswolds or the Sears for that matter. But
And look at
It was such a
you
great
now,
memory.
recalling that great memory.
it was a great memory. And I don't. If they had that here locally here, and I could do that with Aubrey, I would probably do
You
that.
go out and kill 14 trees. I mean, cut 14
No.
trees.
One real tree, and the other trees are for just for flair. Like, you know, brighten up the bathroom, brighten up the this room, that room.
You know
I have one in my bedroom too. It's so fun.
You know how Saturn has like multiple moons? There's one main moon,
Yeah.
one main planet, and then satellite trees.
So my sister, she has a Dolly Parton suite. It's so cute. She's named one of her guest room the Dolly Parton suite, and that Christmas tree has all guitars on it. It's so cool. And then she's got they're Cardinals fans, so she's got a Cardinals and then a Titans tree and a breast cancer awareness tree because she's a survivor. So
Right.
I think that's how we grew up. My mom was that. She would force my father to take all out the furniture out of our house to bring in the Christmas decorations. So we were that family. But it's so fun. I love everything about it.
Carey Ann is great at doing Instagram stories, or not Facebook stories.
Okay.
You do a lot of videos on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
You need to do a tour of the trees
Oh,
the tour of
yes.
the
The
trees.
tour of the
when
trees.
they're all put up.
Yes, that'd be fun. Yes, but it brings me a lot of joy. So I did contemplate last year leaving them up all year round because it brings me so much joy. But then I felt like I would lose the joy. So I think it's like, you know, the hunt, you know, that kind of thing. It's like the excitement of putting it all up and the pure chaos because there is green, evergreen needles everywhere, whether they're fake. They're still everywhere.
Right, they're still everywhere.
And then going back how we even started this is glitters everywhere. So lesson learned. I 86 the glitter because it is everywhere. And if you have certain kind of hardwood floors, ours are scraped. So the glitter gets inside the scrape. So everything is glowing.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fun.
There's your Christmas all year round.
I know.
You do tinsel?
No tinsel.
Tinsel gets everywhere.
But Aubrey, we spend a lot of time and she has a tree and she gets to put any ornament she wants on it. It's colored lights. It's totally her tree. And we do all the little kid, you know, the popcorn, threading the popcorn and the garland made of construction paper, all that fun stuff. She gets to do that on her tree. Not so much on mommy's tree, more on her tree.
Is her tree in her bedroom or where's it at?
It's in her playroom there. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's beautiful. It's fun. I
Oh,
love
boy.
every step you make. Every step you take.
It must be cool to be a kid in your
Every
house.
tree you take.
We're rewriting a song. I love it.
Every tree you take.
Where is our show going?
Oh,
I don't
this is
know,
nice
but
one.
I just got so excited.
It was a joyful tangent.
It was so joyful.
well,
And just wait, because when the trees are up, that kicks the Christmas music in, and that starts the dancing in the kitchen. Just wait for those videos to come out.
so are you cooking for Christmas as well? Since you
I'm
did
not
so
so
well
sure.
at Thanksgiving?
I'm not so sure. You know, Jennifer she didn't think I did too bad. Usually she does Christmas too.
Oh.
You know, they've learned to just take all of that away from me.
Is there
Well,
a
now
favorite
you-
Christmas song that you guys have?
Oh, I love every one of them. It's fun to see some more of the modern, but I like the old school
Yeah.
ones. I will say Mariah Carey's is a standard. All I Want for Christmas Is You. So we listen to that song. We have been listening to that song now for 3.5 weeks, I think, every time Aubrey goes to school. And we turn it up loud. It's fun. It's a good one.
Family, my favorite movie at Christmas is The Griswold Family Christmas.
Yes.
Yes.
That is my all-time favorite. That's my favorite movie, not just favorite Christmas movie.
That's right. Yeah.
So at the office, we do Festive Fridays. So really excited. So coming up this Friday, we are going to, I'm allowing all the employees to dress up as their favorite Christmas movie. So it's going to be exciting to see what people are going to dress up as. So there might be a leg lamp. You just never know.
You're going to get a cousin Randy?
Yeah, Cousin Randy.
Yeah.
Love Cousin Randy.
But we try to do that. And then the next week, we're going to do a gingerbread. Since we finance homes, we do a gingerbread home contest, right? Mm-hmm. And so
How do you have time for this stuff when you're putting all these loans together?
Yeah, we do 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's we work hard, we play hard, but it's for 45 minutes.
It's like
but I give all of them the ingredients, and they have to put these houses together within a time frame, and it has to be the most creative and the most unique, etc. So then we have some judges, and so it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah. When you have amazing employees and they work so hard, you definitely need to give them the time to let their hair down, per se,
I just don't know how you do it all, Carey Ann. I'm just amazed. I'm just absolutely amazed that you have time to even play, in that environment that's got to be so
Well, they're
crazy
reminded that we finance homes, so they're actually not playing. They're building homes made of gingerbread.
Gingerbread homes.
Yeah, but Festive Fridays, you've got to have something to look forward to, so... but I'm excited for next week. So we just been talking. There's only 3 weekends in the month of December this year. No,
I didn't know
it's going to go fast for sure. Christmas will be here before we know it. Have you got Connie's gift yet?
No.
Ooh. That's on air, Connie. Well, he has 3 weeks, so hopefully he'll get all that worked out. Well, stick with us here. We have a lot more to talk about on this session. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.
Are you someone who is looking to gain wealth through real estate? My name is Carey Ann Cyr, and I'm with CMG Financial and my mortgage team. Whether you're looking to purchase your first home, a second home, or even an investment property, my team and I, we specialize in making the process of home ownership smooth as possible. With our vast variety of mortgage programs, our competitive interest rates, and our local support center, we have the ability to serve so many deserving families and help find just the right mortgage program to fit within your short and long-term financial goals. Mortgage loans is what we know, and approving them is what we do. We'd be honored to help you begin the process today. Check us out at yourtnlendingsolution.com. That's yourtnlendingsolution.com. Or give us a call, always a friendly voice, 615-456-4456. That's 456-4456. We look forward to helping you and beginning your mortgage application today.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here, Realty One Group, Music City.
Hey, Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Carey Ann.
Monte Mohr.
It's good to see you tonight.
And Jim.
Jim.
And Jim.
Jim Bob is here.
Our sidekick.
Hey, Jim Bob.
Yay.
I'll just throw that in.
So how about a little less Christmas tree, more about real estate?
Yeah,
how about
really.
that?
Since it is the talk of Music City Real Estate. Last I checked.
I know.
I'm glad you're excited about that.
Yes.
You could be a realtor's nightmare trying to find that room for those 14 Christmas trees. You know that, right?
Oh, I needed. That was what I was looking for, is storage.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
That's
need
what I'm
the
saying.
storage. Yeah, for sure. And I found it.
So what's going on in the real estate world? Can we talk about some numbers?
Yeah, are there some stats that we can talk about?
Yes, let's do that.
I have a very good question for you.
Do you?
What's going on in the local market right now?
Okay. That's a great question.
Thank you. What I'm here for.
All right. So what is going on here? Carey Ann, you want to look at this or you want me to?
Yeah, the Greater
Nashville housing market.
Yeah, the housing market, they put out some Greater Nashville Realtors, put out some statistics here.
Sees another strong month. So there were 33,742 home closings reported for the month of October. That's amazing. Think about that. That's a city. 3,742 homes closed just in October of this year. Mm-hmm. That figure's up 16% from last year. That's incredible. These are stats, by the way, from the Greater Nashville Realtors, which I am a part of that association and grateful for it. I'm proud of them, what they're doing for the local community. We have seen another record-breaking month, said Andrew Terrell, Greater Nashville Realtors president, the 16% increase. Residential, let's see, closings 3,200 last year, 3,700 this year. That's Residential is 3,100 of that, 3,700. Condominiums 428, multifamily 23, and farms, land, and lots 175.
Yeah. A lot of lots selling.
What is the area this is based on? Like greater Nashville area, kind of like all the surrounding counties and everything?
Yeah, I'm guessing probably, the 5, 6, 7 main counties right here, right around Davidson County. But GNR covers a pretty big area, but that's pretty incredible. You see that 16% growth when you consider that last year was a growth over the year before. So that's exciting. So it kind of squashes any rumors out there of a downward
turn. There's a lot of people moving into town.
There's so much inertia heading to Nashville. I really don't think, even things did slow down a little bit. Remember the analogy I gave last time? It's like heading down this freeway going, 100 miles an hour where there's no speed limit, and all of a sudden you're slowed down to a normal 65 speed limit. That seems like you're going slower, but in reality, this is a normal market. And that's what we're seeing is more of a normal market, but it's, 16% high. That's pretty incredible, I think.
We're definitely blessed to be in this local area here. I mean, I know folks from, New Hampshire and Wisconsin where family is, times are a little different there.
We are blessed to be in Middle Tennessee, no doubt about it. I never dreamed 20 years ago when I moved here that I would love Middle Tennessee as much as I do. I'm glad to be. I wish my kids and grandkids were here from Florida. All of them are down there. But I love being part of Middle Tennessee. I love the people here. I love the climate. I love everything about Middle Tennessee.
There's an energy, there's an excitement. And it just connects with so many different people. I mean, we're so diverse here
really
too, which
now.
is amazing. I need, even with your real estate growth, I was telling you, like, for me to add people to my team that speak different languages, I have to continue to add because, it's amazing how many different languages are spoke here locally.
It's incredible. It used to be just, finding, like you're looking for somebody that speaks Spanish well.
Right.
And now it's Egyptian, it's Chinese, it's Korean. It's incredible just to watch our own office evolve before our eyes. This the great culture and everybody loving one another and everybody doing a great job for the folks around Middle Tennessee. It's just awesome. I love being part of this. I've never been so excited about my real estate career in 35 plus years that I've been. I'll do 36 years next month.
Wow.
Holy smokes, that's a long time.
Since
Long time.
1986. 85?
84.
84. Well, I have a little bit of a right hook here for you. And Monte, you're going to love this. The greatest hits of the iBuyer companies.
Greatest hits.
And one of the local news channels in their classic news tease headline things that they do, they put out an article. Is Nashville's housing market recession-proof? Find out tonight at 11. So they're talking about, well, actually, the data might be contrary to what we're talking about.
Really?
Brought to you by the greatest hits of your iBuyer companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the sources of this data.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Really
and they put themselves out like they're creating the news, and they're creating the news.
Are you just trying to stir up something over there in the corner?
Look, Jim, if you're not going to get invited back if you keep this poking the bear. Don't poke the bear, man.
It is the giving and kind season, Jim.
Yes, Jim.
It is apparently based on the data from these companies that they're breaking down. Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course.
Imagine that.
Wouldn't you?
Would they have a possible interest in that? Would their stockholders benefit by that? Gee, I wonder.
They could scoop these houses up for so much less now.
That's exactly. Oh, it's a terrible time.
Right.
Yeah, let's do a self-inflicted bad market so we can buy these properties cheaper. My gosh.
Man.
The sky is falling. Anyhow.
But you know what? One thing the Nashville market does not have, right? And it's being talked about. Apparently, one of the most popular houses being talked about is Joe Pesci's, the actor. His
I love
home.
Joe Pesci. He's here?
He's not here, but his home is for sale on the Jersey Shore.
Is he coming to Nashville?
He's going to California. Has nothing to do with Nashville.
I'm trying to get the connection, too.
I know. But I think if you were to look at this article and make this a challenge for your gingerbread house building
I
contest.
see, now the connection.
Okay,
Now
all
the
right. I was trying to figure it out.
I think that could be
How
quite
big is
something.
this house? He's a little guy, right?
He's a little guy, but don't tell that to his face.
Was he the guy on Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Danny DeVito.
Oh, Danny. I'm getting him confused.
7,200 square foot home built in 1990, includes an elevator, heated pool, and deep water bulkhead on the bay. So, I mean, I'm just really surprised that they lasted in New Jersey that long.
Yeah.
You know, it's New Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, my neighbor's from Jersey, and he moved here to pursue music, and now he is a music producer. I didn't even know. I'm like, you're Just Pete. And I didn't realize Just Pete was actually someone really important and well known.
Did you sing for him?
Yeah, but I just was able to go into their house. You know, we do outside things, etc. But in their house, so her whole house was cut of Jersey Shore. Like everything she had on the Jersey Shore, she brought back. You know, in Tennessee, so it's great. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But I mean, there's just shells and there's all kinds of. It's very beachy.
Wow.
Okay.
In the middle of Franklin, you know, it was really funny. Where I'm headed in the forest, the deep forest,
you got
as the neighbor, and she's got the beach shells.
You've got Bambi and all his 14 brothers and sisters.
Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comma, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. Get it right. Yeah,
Holy cow.
So,
Christmas trees, antlers, and shells.
yes, the shells
You
can
guys
stay
are
next
awesome.
door.
You guys are awesome.
But
This
yeah,
show.
they're the iBuyers are trying to scare people.
Yeah, and folks, please, if you're listening to this right now, please check the source of the information talking down the market, okay? We just got done sharing with you in the last month, 3,700 homes have sold here in Middle Tennessee. 3,700, and the iBuyers would like us to believe that the market is bad. Why would they like that? Because they'll like to sell your home or buy your home for less than what it's worth. So why? So they can make some money. So why? So they can show a great return to their investors. That's the bottom line. Please don't sell your home to an iBuyer, especially not one that's coming from the West Coast, and all of our money here goes that way.
Yes. Hey, so we're just going to take a short break, but when we come back,
I don't want to.
I know, but we have to.
Okay.
They're telling me to wrap it up.
Okay.
But we want to talk maybe more about unique selling programs that you might offer,
Sure.
and then some unique creative financing programs that CMG Financial, has the exclusive for. So
Absolutely.
You've been listening to the Talk of Music City Real Estate.
Hi, my name is Monte Mohr. I'm the broker owner of Realty One Group Music City. I've been an active real estate broker for over 35 years now, personally selling thousands of homes. That's why I recently opened Tennessee's first Realty One Group office. As a real estate professional, would you like having it all? Cutting-edge technology, full support, world-class training, same-day commission deposits, all for free? How about strong collaborative culture, national brand recognition, new high exposure, easy access office, and a non-competing broker committed to your success 7 days a week? Now let's top that off with all experienced agents receiving 100% of their commission from day one. I know, where's the catch, right? There is no catch. Call us today and schedule a confidential meeting and learn why Realty One Group is the fastest growing real estate franchise in the nation. Call 636-8244. That's 615-636-8244. Or go to topagentsuccess.com. That's topagentsuccess.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
This is Monte Mohr, Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
And we're having a good time tonight.
We are.
Talking about real
It's
estate.
a lot of fun. I'm having a good time tonight.
Talking about you being a chef at Christmas time. Now, possibly, after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No, but what do you want to talk about next, Mr. Jim?
The one I heard something the other day, listening to a podcast, and it was said that those who don't bring value to the market deserve to be disrupted.
Wow.
Very powerful statement.
Wow. Say that one more time.
Those who do not bring value to the market deserve to be disrupted.
Wow.
Quote by Mr. Gary V.
I share that principle with our agents all the time, that I have a conviction that prosperity follows value. If you want to earn more, be worth more. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. And I really believe that's true, that prosperity follows value. And I think in our industry, we have to look at, are we bringing value to the marketplace? While agents are trying to hang on to a certain percentage, let's make sure that the consumer knows that we are a much-needed advocate and not just a necessary expense. I think that's a paradigm shift that has to change. It is very much changing. I'm sorry for even saying it has to. I know it is. Because there's some awesome agents out there.
So some of the incentives of being creative, right, is a huge part of our business. If we're not being different or unique, or like you're saying, create value each and every day, we just wouldn't continue to grow, right? So what about you creating, is the real estate just the same, or is there something unique that,
I think,
could be added there?
Yeah, I think, good question, Carey Ann. I think that a key thing there is to be able to speak to pain points. I think that's what some of these other companies around town that some of us agents aren't excited about, because they're mainly tech-owned companies, big tech companies, that are getting in the industry, and they're doing things that are making us feel uncomfortable. But, I think that it's really important to be able, as an agent, speak to these pain points, whatever those pain points are. If it's ease of operation, if it's bottom line expense. I'll never forget, a lot of people don't know this story, but I'll never forget in 2007, December of 2007, you might remember what the market looked like shortly after that. But in December 2007, I closed on $1 million worth of real estate. Okay. Now, I don't have deep pockets, but at that time, I thought owning real estate was what I wanted to do. And so I bought several homes and closed, actually, coincidentally, in January. And the day before the closing, you might remember some of the reputation that a company by the name of Countrywide had in the mortgage business, okay? I didn't have to even show up for closings. I was just buying property.
Fast and easy.
Fast and easy is what it was called. Well, anyway, I bought $1 million worth of real estate.
Fast and easily out of business.
Yes. I shouldn't have been allowed to do that. That's the bottom line. But anyhow, so in December of 2007, I find out that the day before closing, you can't only buy all that property for only 10% down. You got to come up with another 10%. And when I had to come up with that other $100,000. Does that sound staticky to you?
No.
Doesn't? I'm sorry. I'll have to cut that out. It sounds real staticky to me. I bet it's over here. I'm sorry. I should have just kept on talking. Here we go. It's this connection over here. I'm sorry. Test. I'm sorry. Can we cut this out?
I'm not hearing anything.
You're not hearing anything? Okay, so can you hear me? It's all about this connection here. It just sounded really okay. There we are. I'm sorry. So it's really staticky, but it's not staticky there for you.
It's clear on my side too.
There's a bell.
Test. I'm sorry. Okay. So anyhow, I just muscle through it, as long as you can hear. So the day before closing, I had to come up with an extra $100,000. Took every bit of money that I possibly could generate at that moment, so I could close on those properties. And then, as you probably remember, Carey Ann, we fell off a cliff in the real estate market. Just totally fell off of a cliff. And I didn't sell another home for the next 3 or 4 months.
Wow. Yeah.
And during that time, I mean, things were not good at home. I mean, there was one problem after another. And so the market started going downhill, those that were around remember. And Can never forget, one of my clients was having a problem selling his home like every other listing that I had. But he said, Monte, how can we compete with the bank that just bought or just took over this property next door to us and just dropped the price $50,000? How can we compete with that? How can we sell? And I said, look, if I was willing to lower my fee, would you lower your cost accordingly, plus some? And in other words, I said, I'll come to the table and waive my commission totally on the listing side if you'll reduce that price. My conviction is if we could reduce the costs, they could reduce their price. We reduce the price, we increase the odds of selling.
Right.
So that started a program that I eventually named We Sell Homes for Free. Okay? And so for the next 6 years, about half a dozen other agents and myself sold $100 million worth of real estate for free.
Wow.
Just for the other opportunity. But what people don't realize is the amount of challenge that was happening in my own world at that point. Not only did I go through another divorce, not only did I was about to lose my own home. See, there's something about walking in someone else's shoes that you really appreciate. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, the pain and so forth. And during this time, I was just in one, I was hurting so bad physically I could barely walk. I had some really, really, really bad problems back-wise. The week before, just to give you an idea, just a glimpse, the week before my back surgery, where they cut me up the middle and cut me up the back and rebuilt me, I got a notice from the IRS. First of all, I got the notice from the divorce was, really not in a good place. I got a notice from the IRS I was being audited because I had accepted a $1,500 payoff, that I had become responsible for that turned into $50,000 because I found out my former wife wasn't telling the truth to the IRS, and I had taken that responsibility, which prompted another audit the next week. And then the day before I went into my surgery, my 15-year-old boxer died in my arms. Oh. I mean, it was just one thing after another thing after another thing. So there's something special, I think, can be said when you're really getting a chance to build on that empathy in that kind of a scenario that caused me to then be able to walk through selling $100 million worth of real estate without charging a nickel. Mm-hmm. But I think that there were times where other agents accused me of being the problem of the market. And I'm not that powerful. I wish I was, but I'm not. But it was simply trying to help make a difference in literally hundreds of people's lives to keep them from becoming a short sale or a foreclosure. And our small team was able to do that. And we did that for a season. Now we don't have to do that because the market has changed a lot. But a lot of folks don't understand what the backstory was of us doing something so far out of the box.
Yeah. I mean, and that was created to help so many, like you said, that were in bad situations. So it was a needed thing at the time.
It was a reminder that, and just like now, that's why I'm telling our agents all the time, look at these tech companies that are succeeding. They're speaking to a pain point. We've got to be able to speak to those same pain points. Mm-hmm. We've got to be able to do that. I know you get creative, Carey Ann, all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my specialties. My background was in operations, trying to find ways to get loans approved the right way, making sure customers are on the right program. That's so important. And so, I love working with a company that's so innovative and always really wants to try to be creative and come up with other programs that are different than just the norm. Our owner was the mortgage chair for the Mortgage Bankers Association nationally, and he has 40 plus years in the industry, and he's just amazing, and he knows everybody in every agency, et cetera. So he's been able to work really hard to try to create programs that would really make a difference for so many and help gain home ownership for those that maybe could not without some programs that he's created. Right. And one of those is Go Fund It. And it is a crowdfunding platform, and we've taled about it. I love this. Months ago, actually, years. We've only been doing this not even a year, so I feel like it's been years. But crowdfundit.com is a program that allows, whether you're first-time home buyer or not, it allows you to crowdfund your down payment or closing costs from all your family and friends and your sphere, maybe your church members or your sorority sisters or your fraternity brothers or this. Grandma, grandpa, cousin, Joe, my granddaughter just got married last weekend before last. So instead of everybody buying stuff through Target or wherever, we could have all contributed to that. Yeah. So one of the ways that I market this program is I go to bridal shows and I talk to a lot of the brides-to-be, and I share, why register at a department store when you can register at Home Fund It, right. Where, the money that folks give you as a gift for your wedding can go towards maybe your first home, the down payment of your first home, which is a huge win. Sometimes people think for some home buyers, 100%, that's a win. Not everything is for free. Mm-hmm. Like not everything is the best loan program for you. Mm-hmm. 100% may not be, right? You still have to pay back that extra money that you received from that program. Right. But this program allows you to get $10 from this person or $100 or $1,000 all the way up to $7,500 without any documentation. And that's the biggest part that frustrates so many. The donors don't want to provide documentation of where the money and sourcing where the funds came from. This program does not require that. So it's very similar to another platform that you see on social media now that helps folks raise money for different fundraisers, etc. This is money to help you just raise money towards the down payment. So
I love that. I love that program.
it's a good program. But we're told that we need to wrap it up here. But let's continue this conversation when we come back. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
Monte Mohr here, Realty One Group, Music City.
Hi, and Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Love talking about real estate, and we got a question here, Carey Ann, that I think that I would really like to hear your the answer to, because I think it would probably be a great question for a lot of folks that are thinking about getting a condo with an FHA loan. So here's the question. I've recently made an offer on a condo that I'm getting an FHA loan on because I can't afford a big down payment. They're saying that the condo is not FHA approved complex. What in the heck does that mean? And I have to have 2 inspections and appraisals. What's that mean? Mm-hmm. So can you speak to that?
Yes, so a condominium is a completely different, there's many different types of homes out there. So condominium is just one. You're going to look at a townhome, single-family homes, log homes, manufactured homes, et cetera, right? And so every type of home has different financing requirements. And so the condominium requires that the financing be, if you're looking at conforming financing, has to be warrantable if it's conventional, or it has to be on the FHA approved list. If you're looking at doing FHA financing, which means that if you think about it, the government types of loans are looking for health and safety. They're looking for making sure that, the complex itself, since they're all attached, meet their standards, et cetera. And so many of the complexes, sadly, they may have been approved once before, but have expired because the HOAs have not sent in all of the proper paperwork. And that might just because there's not a lot of action, going on in that neighborhood where there'd be no reason, or they're not reminded, or nobody's really taken the lead on it to make sure that their FHA approval is up to date. And so we have to go into a database and we look up that neighborhood or that complex to see if it truly is FHA approved. And it's going to say, you're not going to find it. So if you've never found it, most likely it's not an approvable condominium complex. But if you found it, it possibly could say approved for phase 1. And maybe you're looking at phase 4, so you need to make sure your proper phasing is correct. Wow. Or it may say that is expired, which means it was once approved, and no longer. And so FHA worked really hard over the last year to make some changes. And so starting October 15th, they've made the opportunity for folks that are in this situation when looking at a condo complex that was not approved. So the whole complex is not approved. You and I can work on getting something called a spot approval, which we used to do way back in the day, but that changed. Now I can work on just getting Unit 108 approved FHA. Now it has to meet their standards. We've got to go through the condo questionnaires and make sure that it fits within their guidelines. And if it does, then yes, that client can get an FHA loan. But if not, we would have to look at other options because it may be that they can't move forward because that financing is not allowed in that neighborhood or in that condo complex.
Wow.
Similar to conventional. So conventional loans, when you and I look at a specific condo, and again, depending on the age, may shift you one way or the other, meaning up-to-date condos or the newer condos probably have all their paperwork properly done, but the older condos may not, right? And so we have to make sure that those are warrantable, which means that they meet the guidelines for Fannie and Freddie. And so we have to pull a condo questionnaire. They're going to ask how many people live in the complex, how many people rent, what is the percentage of commercial versus, the residential part of the condo complex, et cetera. So there's a lot of questions that are involved in it. And we have to work towards making sure that they are true warrantable. So there were some condo complexes there that weren't warrantable at the time because maybe one specific investor, AKA the builder, owned over 50%, of the entire complex because he wasn't able to sell it. So he was thinking 2 steps ahead. I'm not going to go under. I'm going to rent them, right? And just buy me some time. And so when he did that, that pushed it out of Fannie Mae approval standards because he owned too many units. One single person owned too many units. So there's a lot that go into condo complex. So if you're out there and you're looking at condos, they're beautiful and great. So many wonderful condos here in Nashville, especially the high rises downtown.
Right.
And there's some really quaint small flats. We do a lot of flats. You just want to make sure, don't just get with the lender and make sure that lender understands condos, understands how to get them approved. There is a process. It's sometimes not an easy process. Like this question is, do you need 2 appraisals? Do you need 2 inspections, et cetera? There is a list of things that we have to follow. But to get that approved, and if you're in love with that condo, we're going to work hard to make sure we meet those requirements.
So you could actually get one approved. That's not approved right now.
Correct. That changed October 15th, that we could work towards getting it approved. And I'm not saying that is approved, but we work towards getting it approved.
Okay.
Where we didn't have that ability before October 15th. I mean, if it was not approved, you had to get that entire complex redone.
Wow.
To get one client approved.
Wow.
That was a lot.
I don't know if you remember this or not. You mentioned log home in that explanation there. I don't know if you recall this or not, but one of the very, very first transactions that you got my attention on was a log home in Mount Juliet.
Wow.
Okay, the buyer had decided to go with their bank, of course, because it's easier, right? That's what they think. It's not easier, just for the record.
Just so that everybody knows, checking and savings is on one side of the hall and mortgage requests are on the other side of the hall. It's totally different requests,
Total different. But anyway, I'll never forget that my client had gotten turned down because there were no comps for that log home. And you asked some more questions about what kind of log home it was. And because of the kind of log home it was, then it would be satisfied to have only 1 or 2 similar, and you can use a regular home as a third or something like. I don't remember the exact details, but I remember that you delved in deeper than what the bank had done, and suddenly we got that approved, and you were able to finance it.
And I had a customer just recently. They wanted to use their bank. We are the preferred lender for one of the condo complexes down here in the Nashville area. And this, at the end, maybe it was a few hours before it was even supposed to close, they couldn't get the condo approved, and called me and said, "How do you get the condo approved?" And I actually said it makes the most sense to leave that client at that bank. I'll just tell you how to do it. So I went ahead and told them how to do it, and then they couldn't get it done, so we had to take it on. But there's steps, there's a process, and if you do it on a regular basis, you know very well how to handle a log home or even a manufactured home. The folks that are out there, I mean, I do more and assist more people buying beautiful manufactured homes. You wouldn't even know they're manufactured homes, right? They came on, the chassis there. And so there's things that we have to do that you don't realize that it's not detitled from the DMV yet. So we have to go through that all that process. If you're not aware to think 2 steps ahead on some of this stuff, you're going to be missing your closing date at the last minute. So being prepared. But yes, hopefully that helped answer that question. Sometimes there's a lot that goes into it. But every condo complex needs to be approved. Now, if you want to go and do a non-conforming loan, which is more of a short-term loan, and you go get a bank loan type of thing where they just work something out with you and you have a fixed rate for 2 years type of thing, you might not need to go through this whole process. But when you and I are looking at a long-term 30-year loan that's more conforming, you're going to have to go through the process of making sure that condo is approved.
Is it because of the sellability of that loan?
The agency's guidelines that everybody sells to and follows. Right.
Good stuff.
Good question.
I always learn
Great
stuff
question.
about mortgages when I'm hanging out with you.
Great question.
I love the second question. It says, our neighbor has a stupid barking dog.
Ha!
Man, I swear this is my wife's writing this one. And truly, I'm moving because I can't stand it anymore. There is no noise ordinance where I live, so I'm told that I need to work it out with the neighbor, who is an idiot. Just tell it like it is.
How do you really feel?
I kind of
Questionnaire?
Yeah. When I sell it, do I need to disclose that there's a noise problem? My understanding is on the seller disclosure is that anything that could adversely affect the value of the property, you need to disclose that. I tell all of our agents, when in doubt, disclose. You don't want anything coming back to you that you had some knowledge of and you didn't, because that can come back and bite you. You want to always, transfer as much knowledge as you possibly can. Way back in the day, you could literally paint white over a leak in the ceiling because the law read, buyer beware. Now it's basically said caveat emptor, buyer beware. Now it's basically seller beware. So in my opinion, darn dog, you probably have to disclose that noise, I think.
Do I have to disclose the man on the tractor Sunday night at 8 p.m. mowing his lawn? I have to disclose that. That interrupts my evening. I'm sleeping.
You might need to do that.
And I called, and it's his house behind us is on the county limits.
Oh, no.
And the county doesn't have a noise ordinance, and so city does, but not the county. Interesting things.
Interesting stuff.
Call your county. Figure that out.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. We'll be back next Sunday, 5 p.m. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.